Afternoon or good afternoon, East Coast. We're so excited and blessed to have you all here with us, sharing this with us, and welcome to the Unbelievable Women Show. We're here twice weekly, and join us for share inspirational stories and hear from inspirational different interviews and that just really help redirect the positive power in your life. And for those of you who don't know us, my name is Jennifer Net, and I'm here with some other unbelievable women as well too. And Joyce and Kelly is going to join us here. And gosh, you guys are just amazing. These ladies are here from another Mister, and so excited that we came together to do, get together and talk about different subjects that women, enjoy hearing about, and just unbelievable stories that have to share here. So go ahead and Joyce, come here and share a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, hello everyone, and I'm so excited to be here on our first episode of Unbelievable Women. And just to tell you a little bit about myself, for those of you that don't know me, I am a health coach, and I work with people to help them get into a healthier lifestyle through my programs and using the products that I offer. And what I do is take people through a process, because it's a big change whenever you're making these decisions to make change in your life. So it's a process, and the first thing that we start with is developing your why. And so that's what today's episode is all about, is what is your why? And it's really, really important to establish that before you begin any endeavor, whether it's a weight loss program, a new business, a relationship, purchasing a home, anything at all that you're starting new. You really need to know deep in your heart what your reason why is. So that's what we want to cover here today, and I think what we'll do is probably take turns sharing our whys, and then before we close today, I want to cover ways that you can establish your why too, so you can take that away with you today and apply it to your own life.
Awesome. Thank you, Joyce. Kelly, if you want to go ahead and share just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, love to. So my name is Kelly, and now I'm going to be changing it formally to Kelly Brown, so you will be coming to know me as Kelly Brown. And my last name, which is Moreno, actually means brown in Spanish, and it's just much more simple to be brown. Anyway, I've done a lot of about why. I have a feedback. Do you guys hear it garbled?
Yeah, I've got a little feedback too. I'm not sure why.
Okay, I'm going to keep trying.
We'll clear up.
Maybe I turn my own volume down. Let me try this. If I turn this down, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So let me just leave this there for now, because then I don't get a feedback. Okay, so I've been actually developing my why for a while, and I believe that life is a journey of discovery, and your why will become more apparent to you as you try to move into it and discover it. At least it has for me. I got a little piece of it, and then I got another piece of it, and now I just feel like, wow, I finally have this why that really makes me cry. And it all came together with this show and you fantastic, unbelievable women. So, I think about my family, my immediate family. It used to be, there were 6 of us in my immediate family. There was my mother and my father, myself and my husband, my son and my daughter. Well, 8 years ago, my son passed away in a car accident, and then a little couple years later, my father passed away from cancer. And although other things happened, my ex-husband just passed away this last September. So now in my immediate family, there are 3 women. There's my mother, myself, and my daughter. And so then you start thinking about the lineage of women that I came from. And I really can't think further back than my great-grandmothers on both my maternal and paternal side. But I come from very humble beginnings. We did not have money. So that in itself is a position that creates some challenges for people, men and women. And then you take it a little further into women issues with that, and you've got an interesting dynamic of why my why is my why. My daughter is the first of those women, including myself. I ended up going to a grade school. The first woman to go to college, and she's now graduating with 2 AAs, and she wants to go on to get her bachelor's and her master's and perhaps her PhD. And I want to be able to help her. That's my why. My why is to get her to that degree, and then to help the other women that we come in contact with here. But it's empowering women. It starts right now with my daughter and myself and the people we run into. So that's my why. I want her to get through college and change the dynamic of the women in my family. And there you go. And it really makes me cry finally. And I can go on and on about a why and tell you a lot more that I think about it, and it would take hours. So I'm going to let someone else talk, and we'll develop our whys as we keep going.
Awesome, Holly. Thank you so much for sharing that, for sure. That's really just what a why is about. I mean, a combination of your life and things that have happened to you, and a developmental process, and that somebody can grow into, and it becomes you. And just having a why is so, and knowing what do you want more? How big would you dream if you think there? What is your why? I want you to reflect on your dream you once had when you were a child, and how big was your dream. What your desires, what you need to do, and to take those and writing in paper, and I can't wait to see Ms. Joyce here as far as people develop their way. As far as my why, history here. I'm getting some feedback. Are you guys getting feedback? Okay.
I hear feedback, and it's not clear.
It's not clear. Okay. Let me see something.
Not get feedback, but I'm difficulty hearing you. It seems really low.
Okay. Maybe so I'm hearing it repeat, maybe with the volume. If you guys want to mute yours out, mute yourself out when you guys are talking. Does that make sense? So it's not picking up. Okay. There we go. That's better, I think. Okay. And really, my why, you really have to know a little bit about me, but, so I'm going to just tell you just a little small portion about my life growing up, kind of like what Kelly did. And, I came from pretty humble beginnings myself. I grew up really, really poor. In fact, there's one time as a child, I was 11 years old, and we lived in our car. We bounced from place to place, several different family members, and their family members were finally, I think they were just fed up and no longer took us in. And there was one point where we lived in our car, and we drove. I was so embarrassed. We drove through the state capitol with a sign on our car at 11 years old, family in need of help. And that was the start of my life. From that point on, when I grew up, I just knew I wanted to make as much money as I possibly could, and wanted to get as far away from that life as I could. My first job I took was a fishing boat in Alaska, where I worked 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I made really great money. I traveled, had a lot of fun, and bought everything that I wanted, and did that for several years. I worked 3 months on, 3 months off, and my grandma, she was my traveling buddy and my partner, because no one at 19, 20 years old had that kind of money to be able to travel around, so she was my best friend. I did that for several years, and then when it came time, my father had become pretty ill, and I needed to stay home, and I quit. That money was gone. I didn't have anything left from that because I did travel and had a lot of fun with it. I don't regret anything that I did with it, but it's gone. At that point, I started a family too. Shortly after that, and had my children, got married, and I recruited. I went to corporate America, and I worked as a recruiter for several years. Sat in traffic 2 to 3 hours one way sometimes just to get to work, and could no longer do that. I knew I didn't want that for my kids. Sending my children to childcare for up to 12 hours a day, the maximum amount. In fact, there was one time my youngest, actually, he sustained a head injury while he was under the care of someone that I trusted. And, that was just devastating for me. I wanted to quit at that point. I couldn't go to work anymore. And I brought him into work with me, and I just really struggled with that for a while. And finally, in my third child, I ended up staying home completely. I went part-time for a little bit, and then I stayed home completely after my third child. I was able to do that. My husband made great money, and we were doing really, really well. And then my husband, he decided to break both of his legs in a motorcycle accident. So my life has been pretty much a roller coaster ride. So at that point, I had a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a newborn, and a husband with 2 broken legs. And our 6 months of living expenses was not enough to keep us going. So we had, unfortunately, we lost our house. We had to start over at that point. And so, for me, my why is just really to be able to provide, for my family the things that I didn't have when I was growing up. To be able to tell, my 6-year-old daughter when she asked me if when we can go to Disneyland, I can tell her that the tickets are already bought. To not have to go to work and sit in traffic and leave my babies in the care of somebody else that I don't even know, what's happening to them, and having them raised by somebody else, just to be able to be home with them, and to have time to give back to the community and to other people, to be able to help that mom that wants to stay home with her kids, to be able to help that family that needs an extra couple $100s a month coming in just to pay their bills, to have the time to give back to local charities in my community, and other charities that we care about, like Viva Kids. And there's one in particular I love to spend my time with here called Birthday Dreams. And just homelessness has affected my family so much. I'm not even going to go into complete all the details about that. I did a little bit, but Birthday Dreams is a charity that gives back to children that help homeless children celebrate their birthdays, because these moms don't even have the ability to buy them a cake. They don't even tell them when their birthday is. And so it's just really, really close to my heart. And I love to have more time to be able to get back to that charity. And just to be able to have worthwhile work is part of my why. I want to be able to contribute to others and impact others' lives, and just to continue and to expand and to grow. And when you have worthwhile work, your time off is just so that you can rest to get back to doing what you love to do. And that's really the way it should be. And most people have it backwards. They go to work and all they want to do is have that time off and that vacation. But your work should be your life, and you should love what you do so much that your time off is just to rest, to get back to what you love doing. And that's really what that's my why. And that's I could go into more, but yeah, I definitely have a why that makes me cry for sure. And gosh, I'm so blessed to be a part of an opportunity where we can achieve our goals and reach our dreams and everything. And I'll go ahead and send it back over to you, Joyce. Joyce, you want to unmute yourself? Shoot. All right, Kelly, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Do you want to? Is there anything else you want to share? I think Joyce is having some issues with her volume right now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. So we actually have, it's crazy how we all as women have so much in common. You know, there's obviously trials and tribulations that we all go through, and I would say that, you know, talking about having a job that we love, I think as women we do tend to sacrifice. I mean, just being a mother is a sacrifice. You're sacrificing, in some cases, your life. Some people, you know, actually die in childbirth. So it's common, I think, for us to make sacrifices for as women. Usually of ourselves and our dreams for other people and in our nurturing of that. So I happen to be very entrepreneurial, and if I think about the women that I've just spoke about, from my great-grandmother to my daughter, I am the entrepreneur in the family. So having a job that I love that contributes is just who I am. I almost can't do anything else. You know, my mother sacrificed for me, and she did a job that she did not really enjoy. It did bring us to where we are today, and a lot of security. She was the rock. So I'm hoping, and that's part of my why too, is to be a rock in what I love doing and giving to other people, like, you know, like we're doing here. And working with people that we can empower. And so part of my why is empowering myself to do that through what I enjoy doing. And like I said, I'm the entrepreneur in the family. So I want to show people that they can kind of have that all, have a job they love and be with their families. And I gave up part of my work to be with my family because I wanted to be home with the kids when they were home, you know. But my daughter's 29 now, so I don't have to do that anymore.
Well, now you just get to spend time shopping with her, right?
Yes.
Oh, the kids are fun, and yeah, I know they're a huge part of any woman's mother's life. And happy Mother's Day to everyone too. I hope everyone had a fantastic Mother's Day. I know that I did. And
I did.
Yeah, awesome.
And isn't it great that our show is starting the day after Mother's Day?
Oh my goodness, yeah, it's so fabulous. It's just so fitting to have it start after the day after Mother's Day.
Right.
And I know my mom was an unbelievable woman, and everyone's mom, I'm sure that you feel the same. We've got some unbelievable mothers, and they all did their best to see that you know, we were fulfilling our dreams and getting to where we wanted to. And so definitely excited to have this the day after Mother's Day. Joyce, I see that you're joining us right now. Get that back fixed. Oh, we still don't hear you.
Wonder what happened. She muted her phone, right? I mean.
Yeah. So, you know, definitely, you know, think about what your why is, and, you know, make sure you write it down. You know, to me, a why should be, you know, more than just, you know, what you hear from typical people. You know, you want to make more money, or you want to go on a vacation. I mean, your why should be way more than that. And have a, you know, really strong why just to help you get through some of the trials is so important to have, I think. And you know, I'll go ahead and Kelly, do you have anything else that you want to add or say? Or?
Well, I see Joyce. Joyce, can you come on yet?
Yeah, you might be able to hear me now.
Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, all right, good. You know what? I just switched over to my cell phone. I don't know what happened on the computer. When I muted myself earlier, it didn't want to come back. So, yeah, if I could just sort of recap what you ladies shared, you know, and what I love about the whole thing that we're doing here together is that we each have our own story, as does everyone in the world. You know, we all have our heartfelt stories that keep us so connected to our families and our why. And I really didn't get into my why, and I'll probably just take a minute or two to go over my story. And and then what I want to do is really take the last few minutes maybe of the call to share with you how you can develop your why and keep that really strong and close to your heart that keeps you motivated. But for me, my why is it's really related again to my family, just like all of us have stories related to our families. And Kelly, what I really connected in hearing your story is that I lost family members too, and I've lost 2 sisters already, and it's difficult to imagine that people that we, members of our family are no longer with us, like you have experienced with your son and your husband. And whenever those kinds of things happen, it really brings it home a lot deeper and a lot closer to our hearts for our motivation to make it better for everyone else in our family, and then again the extended family of those around us. So my motivation really has been to help people understand the importance of living a healthier lifestyle. I do believe that given different circumstances, my sisters and my mother may still be here with me and the rest of the family here today, or they might have lived a little longer had they put more effort into their lifestyle. And it frustrates me and saddens my heart to know that we get our priorities mixed up a lot of times in life. We have this one body that we go through life in, and we need to take super good care of that body so that it will serve us well and give us a long and full life. So it has become so close to my heart because of that loss, and I have my father who is 98 years old, and he's set such a beautiful example for so many people in his life and how you can live a long and vibrant life. I mean, he's here with me now. He comes down and stays with me in Florida for a couple months every winter. And he's so active. He's, he does his own thing and takes care of himself for the most part. And he's very healthy. And people say to him all the time, well, you're lucky, you have, you're really lucky. You have good genes, you this, you've led such a great life. And he says, you know what, luck has nothing to do with it. It's a concerted effort that I take and make for my health. And he's taught us that throughout our whole life. So I grew up with that influence over him or by him of making the right choices in life and asking yourself your why for just your daily activities. Why are you eating that piece of cake, or why are you eating those candy bars, or why am I, ask yourself those questions, why, not just for the big things in life, but for every little thing, because all the little things add up to how your life culminates into one. It's just such a miraculous thing to me to see that influence and to have that direct influence in my life. And it's just something that I want to share. So my big reason for choosing this career that I have now, which is so very different from what I've done in the past, is to help others and to help them realize the importance of their health. So what I do as a health coach, and what I want you to maybe take away with you here today, is a little couple-step process for you to help you develop your own why. And I have a little handout, and I'm not sure if the handout is going to be available through the Google Hangouts or not, but you have to, whenever you set your why, you have to have measurable goals to what it might be. And a lot of times it depends on what it is. If it's financial reasons or if it's health reasons, whatever it is, try to go out, not too terribly far out, because then it's too hard to attain. You want to set maybe a 90-day goal and start with that, and make sure that it's measurable. So that, for example, financial, you want to make an extra, however many dollars, or weight, or your weight management, you want to bring your weight to this level. Okay, so make it measurable. and then write that down so that becomes important to you. And then what I call your big MOFA, that's your big motivating factor. What's your reason why? You know, you got to think about why you want that extra money. Just like Christina was explaining, you know, she wants her family to not have to experience the kind of lifestyle that she had as a young girl. She wants to be able to just say, yes, that's what we're going to do, because, you know, it's there. So make sure you identify what your big motivating factor is as to why you want to attain those things. And then set some anchors. And the anchors could be things like pictures of your family, or a favorite song that brings back the memory of a lost family member, or anything like that that really connects to your heart. And write those down and post them somewhere so that you can see those and make it part of your everyday thinking and your everyday life. And then start to clear the clutter that's in your life out so that you make more room for this new feeling to come in, and all that clutter and all that noise that's in your mind that's telling you the wrong thing, start to clear that away and replace it with the right thoughts and actions, and then take those action steps. So write down just 2 or 3 action steps that you're going to take in order to reach that goal, and then make it happen. And come back in, you know, you might want to visit it intermittently. Don't wait clear till the end of the 90 days. Come back at 30 days and look at it and see how close you are. But monitor that and do that, and you'll be able to reach your goal better that way. So that's something that you can take with you and work on your own why and develop those strong whys like we have here. Kelly has, and Christina has, and I have. We all have our strong whys pretty well established. And it's so important to keep you focused. You know, you want to go through life with purpose, and having your why established and in your heart and in front of you and as your goal will help you with that. So I'll hand it back to you, Christina or Kelly.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you, Joyce, for sharing that. Yeah, it's so important to write those goals down that you're going to have to be able to reach your why. And you're going to have a 95% greater chance of achieving your desired goals if you write them down. So write them down and have them in front of you. And you know, it's just so important to do that. Definitely, thank you so much for sharing that. Kelly, did you have anything else that you wanted to share or add? Or?
Yeah, I did, and it was back to that, and Joyce covered it too, but it was back to the what's the big deal with the why? You know, you hear it all the time, your why, and it, for me, obviously Joyce says it, but it's, you can make, if you know what your why is, it brings clarity to achieving your goals, you know, why you're achieving these goals. And then you can make better decisions on each of those choices that you talked about. You know, you can make choices that align with your goal, and your why is why you would make the right choice. So they all just go together so nicely. That's all.
All right, great. Well, I think we're getting pretty close to the 30-minute mark here, and just want to give everyone, you know, an action step here. We'll make sure that information that Joyce was talking about to write down your why. We'll make sure that's available in our Facebook group there, so you guys can go and access that. But just want to give you guys an action step to close out the call, and you know, really think about what your why is. Go through and that process that is going to be in that form will be available on our Facebook page, and put your why together so you know why it is that you know you want out of life and what you want to accomplish, and write it down and have it in front of you. And you know, let us know what your why is. Go ahead and you can post in our Facebook group there, or message us on Twitter. I'm going to start a following there with #UnbelievableWomen. So that's #UnbelievableWomen if you want to put that after your post. And thank you so much again for joining us this morning. And it was an honor and privilege to be here with all of you ladies. And if you did enjoy hearing this positive message, we'll be back here again on Thursday night at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern Time PM on Thursday. And so thank you for joining us again, and look forward to hearing you. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, hashtag Unbelievable Women. Stay connected. Join our emailing list. If you'd like to hear from us and continue to stay connected or even work directly with us, join that emailing list. And have an unbelievable week, everyone, and look forward to seeing you all again on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific.
Bye, ladies.
Bye, ladies. Thank you.
Make it an